So difficult for teachers to emphasize appropriate behaviors, reinforcement, and procedures for modeling because that's not necessarily the education many of us had, or that was not the guiding predominant philosophy when we were in education. Many times, I think that punishment philosophy, cease and desist attitude, um, that three strikes you're out, um, dominated a lot of our psyche then, and a lot of the that teaching, that model was what we saw. And therefore, when we were got in trouble, it was associated with a lot of shame. Um, and shame plays a big role in forming memories, almost just as strong as nostalgia, just as strong as love. It is one of the predominant emotions, uh, I think, that comes as a result of education. And that's a shame. But like broadly, our culture doesn't necessarily uh, look for positive behavior. It's difficult to be positive. It's difficult to um, celebrate positivity. When I've been in substitute classrooms where I'm looking for students to hoodwink me and misbehave, and I'm not looking at the students to impress me or to leave the note on the students who I think should be congratulated. That happened just this week. So a teacher had left me notes like, look for these positive behaviors. Um, and so I think it becomes easy also to focus on the content rather than the uh, actual education of growing kids and teaching them to be happy, kind, successful adults, because all of those three things go together. Just teaching kids to be happy people, I think, is something that needs to be emphasized more. Two research strategies I think that work very well, research-based strategies to reinforce positive behaviors. Classroom organization it's the most obvious thing that sticks out to me whenever I go into new classrooms. Of, okay, this classroom is set up into pods. This teacher has um, RGB lights that students love, that gets them in a nice, calm, focused mood. Um, this classroom is bare bones. There is not a single poster on the wall. What's going to happen? Um, they're generally just despondent. Um, I think Table 6.3 in examples of primary and secondary reinforcers is a great way of kind of giving sensory reinforcers, uh, textures, access to comfortable areas, computers, free time, just viewing a video, seeing posters on the walls, rewards, decorations, colored lights. Most of those things aren't distractions, but they put the mind at ease. They welcome a kid who might have come from a very stressful morning with their parents and a silent car ride, and let them sit down and be comfortable and forget about that morning and get ready for the day. The other thing I think that doesn't get enough credit is student empowerment. I think a lot of teachers are, or a lot of just like administrators or just traditionally wary of trusting students. And I understand that, but I think you kind of have to take that leap a bit. One thing I once saw was a charter school that did student teacher conferences before their parent conferences. And so that gave students a bit of agency um, to actually sit down, ask what's going on, what's going on, and if they were despondent, that gives the teacher the time to work on it. Um, and other administrators that proposed that idea have been like, "Oh, I've never heard of that," but I think it deserves a lot more attention. So, student empowerment and classroom organization are like the two biggest ways to get students involved and focusing kind of that energy um, that would be directed elsewhere into a positive place.